Good morning to all. Principal Madam, Honorable Resource Persons, students, staff members. I welcome to National Webinar on Biological Sciences for the Welfare of Mankind, organizing by the Department of Zoology, SKR Government Degree College Women, Rajamahendravaram. Now I request IQSC Coordinator of SKR Government Degree College for Women, Dr. B. Anuradha Suryakumari Madam, to deliver her opening remarks.
Good morning. Science is the pursuit of understanding the world around us, and biology is the quest to use that understanding for the betterment of humanity. On behalf of our beloved principal, ma'am, let me take the opportunity of participating in the national webinar arranged by the Department of Zoology. I take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Paula Bhaskar Garu, and CC authorities for permitting us to conduct the webinar. I appreciate the Department of Zoology for taking initiation to organize the webinar. On this occasion, I would like to speak few words about our college, SKR Government Degree College for Women, which was established in 1968 and was named after Srimati Kandukuri Rajalakshmamma, the wife of Sri Kandukuri Veereslingam Pantul Garu, a great social reformer and philanthropist. Our college vision is to transform young women into integrated, powerful, and holistic leaders who are service-oriented, ecologically sensitive, and actively involved in the growth of families, communities, and country. I am delighted to address you not only as the president of this webinar, but also as the coordinator of this prestigious host college, SKR Government Degree College for Women, Rajahmundry. I welcome you all to the national webinar on biological sciences for the welfare of mankind. The scientific study of biological phenomenon and humans ultimately aims at human welfare. The application of the term biology and human welfare starts from the very beginning of human civilization. As a field of science, biology helps to understand the living world and the ways its many species, including humans, function, evolve, and interact. Advances in medicine, agriculture, biotechnology, and many other areas of biology have brought improvements in the quality of life. Fields such as genetics and evolution give insight into the past and can shape the future, and research in ecology and conservation inform how we can protect the planet's precious biodiversity. Biological sciences have been playing a dynamic role in improving the challenges regarding human welfare, and health. There are many more research and investigation process carried out for improving future technologies. Thereby, it brings elemental changes in the life of humans and human welfare. Before concluding my words, I would like to convey my appreciation to the speakers, Professor Anil Kumar, Possibility, Department of Biochemistry, University of Hyderabad, Dr. Nutalapati Srinivas, lecturer in zoology, Government Degree College, Ramachandrapuram, for their wonderful support in contributing this webinar, though they are very busy. I hope this webinar will be useful for the participants and they make the best use of their time. I wish you all the best. I once again congratulate the Department of Zoology for organizing the national webinar. I thank Subramanian Garu for his technical support always. Thank you one and all.
Now I request Dr. P.S. CHP Deepika Rani Madam to introduce Professor Anil Kumar Possibility Sir.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning to one and all. It's my honor and sheer pleasure to invite a professor of eminence, an outstanding investigator, an intense visionary, a role model of commitment, K.V. Rao Scientific Annual Research Awardee of 2007, Endocrine Trainee and Travel Awardee of 2010, DST Inspire Faculty Fellowship Awardee of 2011, DBT Welcome Trust Early Career Awardee of 2012, FAPS Travel Awardee of 2012 in USA, Wood Whelan Research Fellowship of 2014, ERA and EDTA Travel Awardee recipient of 2006 from the Israel, and DHR India Long-Term Fellowship from the University of Michigan, USA in 2018, Ella Pragada Gold Medalist from the Pionest in 2019, elected Fellow of Telangana Academy of Sciences in 2021, Chancellor Awardee from University of Hyderabad in 2022, Young Scientist Awardee of 2023, ICMR Fellowship of Harvard University in 2024. Really the inspiring personality, Professor Anil Kumar Garu Possibility. He did his BSc Microbiology from the Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur in 2000, Masters in Biochemistry from Andhra University in 2002, PhD Biochemistry from NIN ICMR at Usmania University, Hyderabad, and postdoctoral in the University of Michigan in USA from 2008 to 2011. Diabetic nephropathy, chronic kidney disease, epithelial mesenchymal transition, bioinformatics of kidney are his area of research interest. He published 65 papers in reputed national and international journals. Under his able guidance, 6 students were awarded doctorate degrees and 30 masters. He held various positions and rendered his services as postdoctoral fellow in the University of California, USA in 2007, postdoctoral fellow again in University of Michigan at USA, DST Inspire faculty at National Institute of Nutrition in 2012, as assistant professor from the Department of Biochemistry in the University of Hyderabad in 2014, and as faculty in charge in the proteomics facility at SLL University of Hyderabad in 2022. He carried out various research projects sponsored by CSIR, SERB TST, DBT, DRDO, UGC, MHRD, UIH, IOE, Department of Health Research, and ICMR. Sir, really, we are very fortunate to have you at this plenary session. I think all the students and the faculty members, the research people, and all the students will enjoy this session and they will enlighten at the end of this session, no doubt. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Hi. Are you able to hear my voice? Bona? You able to hear my voice, Bona? Hello?
Sir, yes, sir. It's clear, sir.
Okay. Do you able to see my screen too?
Yes, sir.
Do you able to see my screen?
Okay.
No, you able to see my screen, Bona?
Sir, it's
Yeah.
clear, sir.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. I hope whenever if you have any technical problem, like you can't see my screen, let me know. I'll take care of that. Okay, so what I would like to show here is that, okay, before I begin my talk, I'll think it is 10:45, so I presume that I'll be stopping at 11:40 or something. I think I have a 45 minutes time and then discussion. Okay, I sincerely thank Dr. Deepika Rani for inviting me here, and Dr. Anuradha, who preceding this event. And I also thank Dr. N. Srinivas for referring me to Dr. Deepika Rani. Thank you very much, all of these delegates and significant other delegates from the College of Rajamahindra, Women's College of Rajamahindra. It's a pleasure for me to talk back to my state where I belongs to the state of though presently Telangana, but I originated from Andhra Pradesh. And so fittingly, my name is Anil Pasupuleti. So my name reflects the AP, like Anil Pasupuleti and Andhra Pradesh. I'm very glad for that. As students, if anytime you think any doubts, just raise your hand. I can take your questions. Okay, so today, I'm not sure my research does make any welfare to mankind. Actually, in fact, I'm trying to do some research that significantly influence the mankind. Like I worked on diabetic research as a Dr. Deepika Rani said, I have been trying to understand the pathophysiology of diabetic nephropathy and trying to raise some drug markers and some drugs, screening of the drugs and all. It's very specifically diabetic nephropathy. But since the topic, especially the symposium is on biological science for the welfare of mankind, I'm trying to do my part of justice for this topic. Okay, here is go. There's a great scientist whose name is Helen Fisher. He said that there is a biology in everything, even when you are feeling spiritual, even you are sitting in a temple and doing something, is the biology, because you cannot take biology out of mankind, right? It's like you have thousands of microorganisms sitting in your body. You have millions of cells, they function together as a human being. So you cannot keep a biology away from mankind. Okay, so I hope you can, I can move to the next slide. Okay, there is a society, health, welfare, everything is connected, good life, economic, social impact. So what I would like to highlight is that April 7th, a few days ago, 4 days before, it is World Health Day. So I don't know how many of people know it's World Health Day, but it's a very pleasure, to conduct this event very near to the World Health Day. Okay, maybe like because of holidays you might be missing it or whatever the reason, but we always have to remember health is the wealth of this world. Okay, so I have something to point out something for students immediately when I'm talking about this topic. What the major thing a biologist want to see? Okay, I'll just pause for a second. I can black out this one. Just for a second, I would like to see the students are I would like to see who all audience here. What is the aspiration of a life? Being a human being, what is your aspiration? Aspiration of a bird, aspiration of an animal. What is the aspiration? Why we wanted to dream about actually living healthy and living longer, right? If you look back, you know very well that 100 years back, a couple give rise to 10 babies. They give reproduction for 10 children. Nowadays, we are hardly giving one or maximum two or none. 0 to maximum 2, or worst situation is 3 children. So why we reduced our reproductive capacity? Why we are not giving birth to more and more children? Because you can see from 90s to now, 1900 to 2020, there's increase in life expectancy. So earlier people used to die a lot because of whatever the reasons, infection, diseases, especially communicable disease like infections with microorganisms. People used to die. The fundamental thing that improved, that changed over a period of time is life expectancy. Now people can live very, very happily for almost close to 85 years. And there are some places in the world, people are living for more than 100 years. They are called as blue zones. Students, whenever I say some catchy word, write down blue zones. Blue zones are 5 places in the world. The 5 places in the world. This one is California, Loma Linda in California. The second one is the Okinawa Islands in Japan. And there are 2 places in Europe. Those 2 places are called, one is in Greece, one is in Italy, and another one is in what do you call, Mediterranean region. So these are 5 places in the world where people are living more than 100 years. It is just because of like increased life expectancy, especially because they don't have any stress and diseases. Okay. So now, so life expectancy, you can check it. I don't know whether you can see my slides. I hope you can see my slides, right? Bona, please respond because otherwise I can't see any people out there, or I'm not sure whether they're listening. You can see the biology and increased life expectancy. In the 1950, North America has a life expectancy of 68 years. Now it is 84. Just I mentioned that 84. In Europe, 1950 to 2000, it is increased almost 10 years, 63 to 73 in Europe. In Asia, life expectancy in 1950 was just 42 years. 42,
Excuse me,
just
sir?
42 years. Pardon?
Sir, excuse
Hello?
me, sir. The slides are not visible, sir.
Those slides are not visible?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. Oh, you disabled screen sharing. You have to let me screen sharing. Host disabled participant screen. You have to let me, you have to enable me screen sharing. Yeah, great. Now I can do, I think. Now I can do, yeah.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible, sir.
Yeah. You can see now? Hello? Bona?
Sir?
Yeah,
Yes,
now you
sir.
can see the screen?
Sir, the screen is showing, sir, but the no slides are visible, sir.
No?
No slides are visible, sir. Only the
Okay, now?
screen is shared.
Now also, yellow color is coming or not? Yellow color. Some yellow color.
No, sir. It's visible only Zoom meeting.
Oh,
Zoom
now?
screenshot is
Now?
appearing, sir.
Now?
Sir? No, sir.
Okay. Now?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, great. Now I believe that it is visible, right? Okay, great. And now I'm playing it, right? Okay. Okay, now, so this is what World Health Day was, April 7th. I moved to this slide, right? You can see now this slide, Bona. Bona, you can see this slide, right?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay, now I'm proceed. Okay, now you could see that in Asia, life expectancy is at 42 years in 1950s. That is why our grandparents used to give 6, 7, 8, 9 children, right? And now the life expectancy in Asia, an average is 68 years, close to 68 years. Okay, same thing. Like in Africa, life expectancy was 37.6 years. Now it is 53. See, poverty or poor resources and life expectancy is very low in Africa. Okay, so only North America and Europe life expectancy was over 64 years approximately. It is increased. Now, by 2050, life expectancy even further increased. Okay, so more people were producing and more people are there on the earth. And also there are a lot of challenges for the mankind. You could see now factors that contribute for increased life expectancy. Okay. So there's a decrease in the common diseases like malaria, filariasis, and especially pneumonia and common cold. and tuberculosis. These are the ringworms, amoebiasis. They all are diseases are decreased. Why they decrease the incidence? Is the earth becoming clean? Really? Students, do you want to say anything or comment? Is really the life expectancy is increased because of disappearance of diseases automatically, or any human intervention is there? See, now, actually, when COVID has come, so we don't have vaccines, right, initially. And vaccines also is the immediate vaccine that does not help in future. We don't know. People who have vaccines, they're still getting. But that few things that helped us, the medicines, we got the antibiotics, we got so many medicines in the laboratory, and we have what do you call, we have cold acts, we have paracetamol, we have so many natural metformin against diabetes, so many drugs are there. That's the reason, the mainly why there are common diseases are occurring less in this is because of the beauty of the biologist. The biologist saved the world by inducting so many drugs. I mean, drugs means which are medicines, pharmaceutically important medicines. And a second thing, there is no typhoid, there is no diphtheria, there is no what you called cholera, because we all got vaccines for them. Okay, tetanus toxoids. So there is vaccines. That is what vaccination and immunization is the potential thing. It just happened because of the biologist. And prevention of HIV and SARS-CoV-2. You know what? In 1980s and 1980s, there were a lot of deaths in the Europe and especially in Africa because of the HIV, AIDS. But now you hardly listen people are dying because of HIV, because we have introduced medicines and also we are successfully prevent transferring of HIV from mother to the baby. This is a biggest achievement of the health research is prevention of the transfer of the HIV from mother to the baby. That's the beauty of this. And most important thing today generation is the cancer detection and diagnosis and treatment of the cancer and sufficient food and water. So these 6 or 7 important events helped the increase in the life expectancy and also healthy life. See, whatever the duration we live, we could successfully prevent the disease. That's why life expectancy is increased. I hope you're able to appreciate the biologist help. Now, how many people knows that how cancer is now able to prevent? Children, especially students who are there, listening to this topic, write down this word, CAR T cells, CAR T cells. Just write down the CAR T cells and try to know what are the CAR T cells and how they impactful in curing the disease. This is a major technological advantage now. Future depend upon how we can best use of the CAR T cells for treating the cancer. Because cancer is some disease, even though you sit you sit in the 10-story building and top floor, you sit there, still cancer can occur. There's no escape from the cancer. So, but how we can deal with CAR T cell therapy? CAR T cell therapy for cancer. Okay, there are 2 scientists are there. One is from the Texas Medical Center and another is Japanese. These 2 scientists got Nobel Prize for CAR T cell therapy. Okay, folks, I just spent 1 minute time to elaborate what is CAR T cells. Of course, everybody know in this crowd what are T cells. T cells and B cells belongs to lymphocytes. In the blood, there are 5 cells. Okay. So majorly they are lymphocytes, B cells and T cells, monocytes, acidophils, basophils, and neutrophils. These are 5 cells. These are white blood cells. Of course, apart from these 5 white blood cells, you have a platelets and RBC. Okay, 7 cells are there in the blood. So now one of the cells is T cells. Now these T cells are taken from a patient, cancer patient. You can take from the T cells from cancer patient. First step, isolated the only T cells from them is called leukapheresis and put back the blood again back into the cell. Take some T cells from the patient and reprogram the T cells. You could see there is a small picture downstairs, small picture. What you do, you try to introduce some kind of gene through some called lentivirus into the T cells. It is called transfection. You say transduction or transfection. What does it do? It will try to introduce, we are trying to introduce one antigen called CAR. This is called chimeric antigen receptor. So we synthesize the chimeric antigen receptor in the lab, put back into the T cells, and these T cells now express this chimeric antigen receptor. What we do, we grow them in that is called expansion. Okay. We reprogram and we try to get CAR T cells. We expand. Expand means we produce thousands and millions of cells in the lab on Petri plate. Once we produce them, we try to put back into the patient. Now, this patient has the ability to express these T cells that produce CAR T antigen. Now, what happens inside the body? These CAR T cells will identify the cancer cells in the body. Wherever cancer cells are there in the patient's body, these CAR T cells will go on them and kill them. That is how you can reduce the tumor in the patients from whom you got the T cells, and you engineer those T cells and put it back to them in the patients. You can cure the cancer. See, detection of the cancer is very difficult, right? That is why we are making them antibodies. Beautiful discovery. Okay, right? This is the first advantage, or the mankind are getting benefit of the recent times. So many are there. We may touch upon Srinivas sir after my talk. He also touched upon major things, but this is the major thing. I humbly request all the students, please write down what are these CAR T cells, and you have a phone readily available for everyone, right? The check for what are the CAR T cells, learn about CAR T cells. This is wonderful, beautiful technique. And you people can do this immunology, learn immunology. This is very primitive, at this very beginning of the era. If people can expert these CAR T cells, there are some disadvantages are there. You can overcome them. You can help the mankind extremely very well. And also you can become trillionaires, billionaires. Okay. That's what I want to tell. Next, this is the world population. This world population is rising by different areas. From 1820 to 2020, the population in these 200 years, you could see in Asia, the population is really increased the population. Now India is take over China. The population of India is the largest country with the population, highest population in the country. So this is what the population is increasing tremendously. See, in the North America, Africa, the population is really, they're always increasing, but especially in Europe, the population is quite constant. European population is not increasing over a period of time just because of European countries together. As they can migrate to other countries like America, or the population is very low because they have only the 1 or 2 children ratio. That's a major thing. Again, you look at North America and Latin America's population is very increasing. Especially 1820 to 2020, the 2 countries that contribute for the world population, number 1 is China, number 2 is India. Okay, so China and India, China and India, these are the worst management of the population. Okay, so we should be very extremely careful. Scientists cannot do the population change because it is a natural phenomena, but scientists are addressing the population problems by feeding them. So let us see how the biology is helping the feeding of this all population across the globe. Okay, I want to tell 2 things here. From last 20. This is 22 years since this data has come. In 2000, people who depend upon agriculture as the laborers or working force and who are cultivating the agriculture are decreased by 13%. There is a decrease in 13%. So there is a less people working in the agriculture industry, less people working agriculture labors, less people are going to fields. But how can we are meeting the demand of food requirement? Babu, Rajamahindra Parisal Prantalo Meer Chudandi, students who are in the Rajamahindra rural area or semi-urban area, majority of the places where crop production was there, now they converted into real estate ventures. Number 1. Number 2 is less number of people are staying actually in the rural areas nowadays because people are migrated from villages to small cities, people from small villages to medium cities to metropolitan cities. In Hyderabad, 30% of the people are from East Godavari, West Godavari, Krishna, Guntur and Nellore. 30% people came from rural areas of the Andhra Pradesh. Earlier, they are all practicing agriculture. Now, agriculture is gone. So how can people are now scientists is major science. So every time you come to scientist, right? You want vaccines, you ask scientist. The Chandrababu Naidu built one valley called Silicon Valley for these people. And also he built one valley called Genome Valley in Hyderabad. The Genome Valley produced 80% of the vaccines in COVID. That is master planning behind is Genome Valley that is established in Hyderabad in 2002 by then Chandrababu Naidu. So vision is required for scientists, and scientists are always approached by the political leaders. The politicians come to ask scientists to help us. The Poonawalla produced vaccines, which is, you called it this vaccine from Oxford, but the majority of the vaccine produced by Pune, it was exported back to UK and the France countries. But the vaccine produced by Hyderabadis, it is the savior for the COVID vaccine. It saved the entire Africa and India and Asian countries. Advanced countries like China, France, they could not able to produce the vaccine because there is no vaccine production plants are there except in Hyderabad and Pune. That is what we need, a vision for the people and politicians and also for the scientists. Okay, that is why Hyderabad produced the maximum PhDs in the country. Okay, so anyhow, let's move to the next slide. How fruit production was increased strategically. I want to tell you something. Dairy farm management, growth hormone, which I work prolactin, people produce prolactin and we give injection to the animals. So milk production was increased initially like that, though it is not very great appreciable event. The poultry, you guys knows that if you have traditional chicken, how many chicken you produce, you can need the meat demand for the eggs and meat, chicken. Now there is a broiler farm, broiler chicken. It's a technological, right? The broiler farm, the getting from wild type to broiler is a biological technique. So we are increasing, like around RAJAMAHENDRAVARAM, you could see so many farms are there. And egg production, the districts of East Godavari produces maximum eggs in South India. You people export eggs to Kolkata, Singapore, Malaysia, all entire North Indian region. They get eggs from your surroundings of Rajahmundry. Number one. Number two is like chicken, the meat from the broiler chicken. So this is what advantage of the biologist. Breeding, inbreeding, crossbreeding. You know what? The people in Brazil, they took the Ongol bullock and they got the very beautiful cows there. And they produce a lot of milk and meat. Artificial insemination. You can collect a semen from a very nice bullock or ox, then give it to the female animals. That is artificial insemination. And multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. This is a beautiful technology for increasing the animal breeding, animal productivity. I am asking any student, what is meaning of apiculture? Apiculture. You know what is apiculture means? Apiculture. Hello? What is meaning of apiculture, students? Akshaya, any student is there? What is the apiculture means? Anybody?
Sir, they are unable to speak because all the phones are muted.
Oh, okay. So apiculture is honeybees, right? Honeybee technology, production of. See, people are drinking left and right honey. How can you get it? There are less forestry is there, less forestry, less trees. Where the honeybees are growing, and we are growing honeybees, and we are getting what you called honey from them. Fisheries, of course. I need not to tell about this aquaculture and fisheries to the people from East Godavari and West Godavari, Andhra Pradesh. You are the largest exporter of fisheries fisheries from India. Importantly, plant breeding. The plant breeding for disease resistance. Developing insect plants, resistance to insect plants, plant breeding for improved food quality. These are all the things that are helped. These are all behind them is a biologist, right? If there is no biologist, you can't get a single cell protein. I'm talking about single cell protein. This is the food from the microorganisms, lower organisms, and plant tissue culture. These are the major technical advances. Strategies used for increasing food production. That is why biologist is like, you called it as your the Annapurna, the bowl rice of India is East Godavari and West Godavari districts. The same way, the person who saved the entire earth by increasing crop production is a biologist. He's the savior of the world. He's helping the needy and he's helping the people avoid the hunger. Okay, now, I want to tell you something, folks. Very interesting data I want to show. Maize, mokkojonna. This maize production, you could say, maize is actually the major plant of North America, and little bit of, the China and Mongolia region, right? You could see it. So that is America, and Alaska is also American part. So maize is producing there. In Canada, in 1963, began 1963, you move to 1985, you could see the Canada about America is getting crop production. And China is increasing green color. Green means more and more. And you could see India, where is light green to dark, it's becoming dark green from 1965 to 1985. In the span of 20 years time, how people are increasing the maize production. Why? Because population is producing more. Now you come to 1997, that 85 to 97, after 12 years, you could see the Mexico is increased. South American countries increased production. And African countries, they slowly started consuming the maize, because maize is not the crop of the Africa. And you could see even further increase in the green color in in green and Europe and Greenland, Russia, you see Russia started producing the maize in 1997. And coming to 2008, more and more green color is increasing, just because like almost Canada is using left and right this one. So what is happening here? 1965 to 2008, maize production is increased. These companies genetically modified the maize. So maize is allowed to grow in only few countries, but genetically modified so that it can grow in across the world, many countries, because America want to dump this maize in. There's one thing, and also it is easy to. Actually, you people now, when I'm childhood, when I go to any movie theater, any place, any mall, there first of all, there was no malls, there was no maize. Now you go to any multiplex around, you are getting a corn, right? Corn is nothing but maize. A boiled corn or a crispy corn. People are starting eating this in menu also. This is major change that happened. Genetically modified corn. Biologists genetically modified the corn so that it can be cultivated across the world. Now you could see this slide in 2019, just like 4 years back, when they made census. So much dark green. That was India, China, they are cultivating left and right, and because population is more, how can you feed them? You see South American countries initially, they hardly have any. Now you see it. Now people slowly, Europe, Africa also slowly started using it. Actually, Africa, they use world millets. Like in Africa and India, we use millets. African millets, ragulu, sadzalu, these are all the traditional jowar, plain jonna. These are our crops. We stopped producing them. Now we're taking the America. American tasting like Coke, Pepsi, pizza, burger, KFC, maize and all, we're moving that way. But ideally, to speak, corn is one of the ancient crop, but we are not using because of its multiple problems. But now we dumped back this maize. It's good or bad, but it is feeding the hungry people. You could see increased maize production. Maize means nothing but mokkojonna. Okay, so that's what. Now, the crop production is majorly done by the biologist. The primary crop production, you could see in the last 18 years, 2000 to 2018, there was 50% increase in the crop production, just because to meet the people who need the needy people. So this is what you have done it. Okay, then there is a global, the crop production is increasing. And vegetable oil production is increasing. So that is the major things that have done exclusively oil production. So we're kept on increasing the oil production in the world, but still the oil prices are going up because demand is very high. And meat production in 2018, there is 47, almost 50% increase in the meat production, chicken and pork. So we have to produce more and more just because people need more food, because there are more people out there. You could see who is helping this mankind, who is helping to increase production. Crop production is done by farmers. No, farmland is decreasing. Remember, farmland is decreasing around East Godavari, anywhere you go. Farmland is decreasing. Number of people cultivating are decreasing. But how people are enhancing crop production? Because scientists are using more and more productive varieties, which give more product, which give more yield. Dhanyam పంట తగ్గుతుంది, కానీ సైంటిస్ట్ genetically modified food ద్వారా they're increasing the yield. ఒక హెక్టార్కి ఎంతైతే వస్తుందో 2000 లేకపోతే 1990s లో దానికి డబల్ వచ్చే విధంగా క్రాప్స్ ఈల్డ్ చేస్తున్నారు. డిక్రీజ్డ్ వాటర్ రిసోర్సెస్, సో మెనీ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. ల్యాండ్ ఈజ్ క్రంచింగ్, అగ్రికల్చర్ ల్యాండ్ ఈజ్ crunching. Okay, but still scientists are helping. That's people, please appreciate the biologist viewpoint. Okay, next. Now increase the crop production. If you see the ratio, ఒక ఎకర్ వండితే 500 kg ప్రొడక్షన్ వచ్చేది ఒకప్పుడు 1930s లో. అది 1950s వచ్చి డబుల్ అయింది, ఆల్మోస్ట్ 1000 kgs. 1970కి వచ్చేసరికి ఆ 500 కాస్త 4 times మల్టిప్లైడ్ అయింది. అంటే 1930s నుంచి 1970 వరకు సైంటిస్టులు ఏం చేశారా అంటే ఒక ఎకర్కి 4 గింతలు పంట వచ్చే విధంగా చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు 3003 అంటే దాదాపు 7 times ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసే విధంగా 2000 yearsకి మార్చారు. అంటే వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఎన్హాన్స్ ద ప్రొడక్టివిటీ. అందులో ఏంటి, పెస్టిసైడ్స్ వాడడం కానీ, జెనెటికలీ మోడిఫైడ్ వెరైటీస్, అంటే క్రాప్ని వీఆర్ టైలరింగ్ మేడ్. ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ఇది మెట్ట ప్రాంతంలో ఉంటే దాని తగ్గట్టుగా జీన్స్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడం, జెనెటికలీ మోడిఫైడ్ చేయడం. సో సేమ్ థింగ్ ఫీడ్ 1930లో అది 112 daysకి వెయిట్ ఎంత వస్తుందో ఇప్పుడు 40కే వస్తుంది. అంటే ఈ బ్రాయిలర్ కూడా ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మనం, తక్కువ టైంలో దాన్ని ఎక్కువ బరువు పెంచుతున్నాం. తక్కువ టైంలోనే దాన్ని బరువు పెంచు తినలేదని కోడి వెయిట్ పెరిగిద్ది. సో పీపుల్ కెన్ ఈట్ మోర్ మీట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ పీపుల్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్, రైట్? సో 1930s లో ఒక ఆల్మోస్ట్ 9.4 grams ఫీడ్ ఇస్తే, అంటే దాదాపు 10 కిలోలు ఫుడ్ పెడితే అది 112 రోజుల తర్వాత దాదాపు 3 కిలోలు ఇస్తుంది, వెయిట్ వస్తుంది. 1950లో ఫుడ్ తగ్గించాం, 6 కిలోలు ఇస్తున్నాం దానికి ఫుడ్. 84 రోజుల్లో 3 కిలోలు వస్తుంది, 84 రోజుల్లో. బట్ నౌ యూ సీ 2000లో జస్ట్ 40 days, జస్ట్ గివ్ 3.5 kg ఫుడ్, అది 2 kgs ఇస్తుంది. గట్ ద పాయింట్. దట్ మీన్స్ ఎంత తగ్గించాము, ఇచ్చే ఫుడ్ తగ్గించాము, టైం తగ్గించాము, ఈల్డ్ మాత్రం పెంచుతున్నాం. యు సీ దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ గ్రేట్. ఓకే, సో 2 kgs వెయిట్కి 9.4 kilos ఇస్తే 2 kg వచ్చేది 1932లో, అదే 2 kgs రావడానికి ఇప్పుడు మనం జస్ట్ 3.5 kgs ఫుడ్ ఇస్తే చాలు. దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ మ్యాజిక్ ఆఫ్ ద బ్రాయిలర్ చికెన్ ఇండస్ట్రీ. మ్యాజిక్. 2 కిలోలు వెయిట్ పెరగడానికి 9.4 కిలోలు ఇచ్చే ఫుడ్ని మనం 3.5 కిలోలు మాత్రం ఇవ్వగలిగాం. దాంతోనే 40 రోజుల్లోనే మళ్ళీ ఫుడ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది మనకు చికెన్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మేజర్ బ్రేక్ త్రూ.
Sir, can we expect quality?
యా, క్వాలిటీ, మీట్ క్వాలిటీ బాగుంది, కానీ వాటికి ఇచ్చే ఫుడ్ వెరైటీస్ తగ్గించారు మేడం. అంటే దట్ ఈస్ అనదర్ ఆస్పెక్ట్. అనురాధ
Okay,
మేడం,
Yes.
another aspect of another shade of that one is like maize. Earlier Indian chickens never use maize. Now we are introducing maize in their food also. That is one thing. Quality was not compromised genuinely, but some farmers are giving them antibiotics and all. That is a
Different
localized
Okay,
problem, but technology wise it is good, madam.
Okay, sir.
I answered Anuradha, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Genuinely, scientist effort is not to alter the quality of the meat, ma'am. But if some local farmers or local technicians is more greedy, is not, if you're doing inhuman, I can't help, madam. That's what majorly. Thanks for asking that question, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I also want to tell one thing, beautiful thing. Since 2012, last 20, almost close to 12 to 22, 24, last 12 years, there is no increase in use of the pesticides across the world. Pesticides consumption is stacking. There is no further increase in pesticides. Without using pesticides, how people are increasing crop yield? By selecting using the brain. Okay, in Africa, when low water area, this crop is good. So bring that same crop to Rajasthan. Bring the brain crop to Anantapur district, where there is no water. That is what the Israel technology crop. Actually, watersheds, 1995, then that government in AP, they used a lot of watersheds. Production was increased actually. I don't know if it's practical or not, I'm not sure. So we have to travel across the globe, and we have to pick up the right plants and bring them and adapt them and increase the product yield. Otherwise, people in Africa, they're dying with hunger because there is no enough crop for them. Africa has more land. but they know enough productivity. Asia, India has less land, but we're increasing the productivity because the biologists are helping the farmers. So please remember that. Okay, then now I want to tell something to the. Today we have to talk about. Without talking this, we can't finish the talk. Non-linear food security, despite increased production. So you see, unfortunately, across the globe, the woman has less food security than men. I don't know reason, because mother don't want to eat a woman, but system naturally society is giving less food for the women than men. So prevalence of food insecurity is more in women. Of course, the prevalence of food security across the globe, in the richest country like America, the poorest country like Africa, they're both places there's insecurities. There food insecurity means rich people are eating more food, poor people are more in number, but they're eating less food. Okay, that's a major thing. This is mainly because of non-linear distribution of the money. For example, I'll tell one question. If we know that in the month of June, there will be no rice available in Andhra Pradesh, what we will do? Rich people can afford, rich people has more money, he can buy 20 bags of the rice today in the market of Rajamahendra. The poor people can buy 2 kilos and 10 kilos max, or 20 kilos or 1 bag. Middle class family can buy 2. Rich people can buy 20. Even he can buy 1 lorry load of the rice. What he will do with this rice? He won't eat, right? So this non-linear distribution of the money, non-linear distribution of wealth is also one of the reasons for insecurity across the world. But within the family, woman has less privilege for food. That's unfortunate thing. And another thing, cereals and tells kadandi. Cereals ante rice gani, wheat gani, maize gani, ilanti vastai. Asia is the largest importer of the cereals. Why it is importing? Because more people are there, less production is there. Because of this, there is increase in obesity in especially in people where import of the food is high. They're increasing, they're having more obesity. Unfortunate thing. Obesity again causes diabetes and diseases and less life expectancy. Jagrataga viనండి, everybody in class. మన సైంటిస్ట్ లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెన్సీ పెంచాడు చాలా రకాలుగా, ఎక్స్ట్రా ఫుడ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ స్టార్ట్ చేసి. బట్ ఎక్స్ట్రా ఫుడ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ ఏమవుతుందంటే రిచ్ పీపుల్ మాత్రమే ఈ ఫుడ్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, వాళ్ళలో డిసీజులు వస్తున్నాయి. మళ్ళీ లో లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెన్సీ మీన్స్ పీపుల్ విత్ డయాబెటీస్ అండ్ ఒబిసిటీ గెట్ లెస్ లైఫ్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెన్సీ. చూసారా సైకిల్, విషియస్ సైకిల్. ఇట్స్ లైక్ సైకిల్. వీఆర్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ద వెల్త్, వీఆర్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ద ప్రొడక్షన్, but unfortunately wealth is concentrated only slow people. Again they get disease and low life expectancy. Again scientists will do increase life expectancy, again in non-linear distribution, and again problem with poor people, no food, rich people have more food and more disease. See, vicious cycle. This you have to do with a proper distribution and exercise and less what you call less mismanagement, and you have less greediness. These are the things are necessary for the mankind. Okay, so now I request, any questions are there, madam? Anuradha madam, anyone? Okay.
Sir, then what is the solution?
Solution is 2 places, madam. Please buy what you need, madam. Don't buy more food than market. If you buy more food and store in your fridge or store in your storeroom and all, artificial crisis in a market. When artificial crisis is there, they increase the price. When more price is there, middle class and poor people, they cannot buy it, madam. So
then attitude should be changed.
Yes, madam. Actually, rich people helping in one way and also cursing in one way, madam. You have to earn money so that you can pay more taxes. You pay more taxes, the tax money goes to the poor people, welfare.
Okay, sir.
If
Thank you.
Rich people has to start industry, they'll give jobs.
But even that is also not sure.
Yeah, you're right, madam. But madam, how money comes into the market, madam? Only taxes, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
excess taxes are paid by rich people, right? So rich people are really good one way, but at every level they should be very good, madam.
Okay,
See
sir.
what I'm telling,
Yeah.
madam. Gujaratis are there, Marwadis are there.
Yes.
Many Marwadi population is very tiny, madam, but Marwadi people pay 60% of taxes. But every business problem in Rajahmundry, all gold shops, all appliance shops, all sweet shops, maybe belongs to Rajahmundry people. Rajahmundry belongs to Marwadis. Anywhere. వాళ్ళు ఉండేదే తిప్పి కొడితే మీ రాజమండ్రిలో మొత్తం how many 1,000 people might be there, not even 1,000 families.
Yes.
Same way. But they're adding wealth to the society. They do business. What we have to do, learn from the lesson that we pay taxes, madam. But only thing, don't store food grains in your house for a long time for security.
Yes.
So don't create, people may not be knowing they're doing this. They create artificial deficiency.
Right.
Madam, actually, for example, I'm very little man. I purchased 20 houses in Rajahmundry, 20 apartments. Market shows that there are selling. People think that, oh my God, lot of people are buying it. So we may also buy, they go for loans. When the people are thinking to buy, then builder will raise the price.
Demand and exploitation.
Middle class
Demand.
is exactly what happening in India. Rich man is buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 apartments. And there's artificial or false hike in the demand. When there is a demand hike, price will be more. After 2, 3 years, 5 years, the prices of the apartments are not in a viable range for a common man. Imagine the same thing apply for the food also.
Yes. Thank you.
Next, most important, how scientists are, actually, I would like to say scientists help the mankind by using the, madam, there is a sword will be there. That sword has 2 sides. One is blunt side, chala sharp untundi. One side is a little dark side. Coin has head and tail. Same way for anything too. Microorganisms cause diseases. But some microorganisms are very good. So human beings, especially this biologist, use those microbes for benefit of the mankind. For example, there's a propionobacterium is there. So we need carbon dioxide, right? We need carbon dioxide for industrial purpose. Using this bacteria, scientists are using produce Swiss cheese and also carbon dioxide. Cheese, very good source of protein. Then Aspergillus lactobacillus streptococcus species, we are getting lactic acid. Cheddar cheese, yogurt, soya sauce. They all are from the microbial product. Microbes are in human welfare. Then yeast is there, bread and wine, beer. Of course, you may be thinking that this wine is bad, but honestly speaking, whiskey, rum, brandy, champagne, they are the wrong. But wine is actually natural product. But wine, if you drink, a person drinks wine in optimal levels, that has a resveratrol antioxidant that's good for health. And Clostridium species, you can get the nail polish remover, rubbing alcohol. These are all things, acetone, isopropanol, which are used for the daily industrial use. They are from a Clostridium species. Especially Escherichia coli and Acetobacter, they produce acetic acid. Many of the food varieties, what you eat, like you eat noodles, sauces, everything will have vinegar. So it is from acetic acid. So from simple glucose, you get all these products by fermentation. So there is microbes are helping those things. Pavani, do you have any questions? Pavani? The Pavani. Okay. Pavani came to life. That's what. Okay. Next, we are moving further. Okay. Now, folks, there is one person belongs to East or West Godavari district. His name, Ella Pragata Subbarao. He is the mastermind behind. I would say he brought so many Sanjeevanis to the modern world. These are antibiotics. He discovered so many antibiotics. I don't know why these people did not give Nobel Prize, because he's a brown skin person. That's why they didn't give Nobel Prize. He's the first Asian to do PhD from the Harvard. He went to America he went to America from India when India is under British rule. He has led so many. Let us think about so many children. This is very good table for you. You can copy this table and you can come very handy when you're preparing for your MSc entrance exams. Antibiotics are there. They produce by the organisms. Their activity, that means gram-positive or broad-spectrum like that, and site or mode of action. You could see antibiotics can stop 4 things. They can prevent microtubule assembly. They can inhibit bacterial cell wall synthesis. They can inhibit bacterial cell membrane synthesis. Cell membrane is inside. 4th, they can inhibit protein synthesis. So translation, you know what is a central dogma? Central dogma is DNA can replicate. DNA gives rise to mRNA. It is called transcription. And mRNA giving rise to protein is called translation. So antibodies can target different steps in translation. They call protein synthesis. Mode of action. This is a very important slide for you people. So many organisms, especially Clostridium species and Actinomyces species, these are fungal species, many of them. They produce antibiotics. And fungi will be attacked by normally by bacteria. To prevent the attack, the fungi produces some antibiotics against the bacteria. See, human is very intelligent, right? He applied the technology. Oh, okay, same bacteria can infect fungi, same bacteria can infect human beings. Now we learn the lesson from the fungi, how fungi can protecting herself from the bacterial infection. So we start using them. Maybe sometimes we produce them more because people are more, that we can industry produce more. Make sense? So this is the greatest application. The Sanjeevanis of the modern world, antibiotics. You know what is Sanjeevani? If you don't know what is Sanjeevani, go and refer Ramayana, how Lord Hanuman saved Lakshmana. Okay, the statue, that mountain that Anjana carries is Sanjeevani Parvatam. It has a lot of herbs, medicines. Now, I want to show some technology for you people. All students, please listen to this one.
Interference is a mechanism of silencing gene expression after the gene has been transcribed. RNA interference is a mechanism of silencing gene expression after the gene has been transcribed. This interference is due to the presence of antisense RNA, which is complementary to a specific cellular mRNA. The complementarity between the antisense RNA and the cellular mRNA causes the two molecules to bind to each other. The antisense RNA can come from 3 sources. First, it can be introduced into cells by researchers. Second, certain viruses may produce antisense RNA as part of their life cycle. And third, the integration of genes into chromosomes next to endogenous gene promoters can sometimes cause the synthesis of the antisense strand of RNA. The current model of RNA interference involves 2 steps: creation of an RNA-induced silencing complex, RISC, and then the degradation of cellular mRNA by the RISC. Creation of the RISC occurs when double-stranded RNA is found in the cell. This double-stranded RNA is recognized by an endonuclease known as dicer that cuts it into pieces that are 21 to 23 nucleotides long. An antisense RNA fragment can then associate with proteins to form the RISC. The silencing complex can then associate with cellular messenger RNA that has a region of sequence homology with the RNA fragment in the RISC. The messenger RNA is then degraded. The presence of this rapid degradation mechanism can reduce and even effectively eliminate translation of the messenger RNA for the gene in question, thus interfering with gene expression.
Okay, great. Dear students, there is a saying in Telugu. Telugulo oka manchi నానుడి, సాహిత్యంలో పాతవాడికి, సాహిత్యం అంటే రామాయణ, మహాభారత, పురాణాలు, అష్టాదశ పురాణాలు, వాడిని సాహిత్యంలో పాతవాడికి, ఈవెన్ స్క్రిప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద బైబిల్ ఆర్ ఖురాన్. సైన్స్ లో కొత్త వాటికి, సైన్స్ అంటేనే న్యూ, సాహిత్యంలో పాతవాటికి, సైన్స్ లో కొత్త వాటికి ప్రాధాన్యత ఇవ్వాలి. యూ హావ్ టు గివ్ మోర్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ద ఓల్డ్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ లాంగ్వేజెస్ అండ్ ఆర్ట్స్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ సైన్స్, న్యూ థింగ్స్. Now check very carefully, this technology RNA interference is using for genome medicine. Genome medicine means, suppose we know that a gene is defective, then how can you repair it so that the baby no longer suffer with the disease for rest of the life? Genome medicine. Suppose gene lo problem undi, aa gene ni teesesi kotta gene pettali. ఓకే, జీన్ అంటే సీక్వెన్సే కదా, న్యూక్లియోటైడ్ సీక్వెన్స్ ATGC. ఎలా చేస్తాం? సో మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ లోను లేకపోతే చిన్న ప్లాంట్స్ లోను ఒక టెక్నిక్ ఉంటుంది, దాని పేరు RNA ఇంటర్ఫరెన్స్. అవి ఏం చేస్తాయి అంటే ఏదన్నా బ్యాక్టీరియా వాటిలోకి ఎంటర్ అయ్యి వాళ్ళు గ్రో అవుదాం అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఆ యొక్క సెల్ ఒక చిన్నటువంటి RNAని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసింది. RNAని ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తే రిస్క్ అనే ఎంజైమ్, కాంప్లెక్స్ అనే ఎంజైమ్ రిస్క్ అనే, ఇదేం చేస్తుంది? mRNA అంటే ప్యాథోజన్ బయట నుంచి వచ్చిన ప్యాథోజన్ యొక్క mRNAకి ఇది బైండ్ అయినప్పుడు RNA డబుల్ స్టాండర్డ్ గా అనిపించినప్పుడు మిగతా అంతా చాప్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే నేనేమంటున్నానంటే ఈ యొక్క ప్యాథోజన్ బ్యాక్టీరియల్ RNA కానీ వైరల్ RNA మన బాడీలోకి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఈ స్మాల్ చిన్న RNA అనేది ఇట్లా బైండ్ అయినప్పుడు ఈ హోల్ పెద్ద మొత్తం mRNA కూడా చాప్ అయిపోయింది. అప్పుడు mRNA చాప్ అయినప్పుడు ప్రోటీన్ కానప్పుడు ఆ బ్యాక్టీరియా మన బాడీలో గ్రో కాలేదు. ఈ టెక్నాలజీని సైంటిస్ట్ బయాలజిస్ట్ ఇన్స్పైర్ పొంది RNA ఇంటర్ఫరెన్స్ అనే టెక్నాలజీని డెవలప్ చేశారు. దీనివల్ల RNA వల్ల మన శరీరంలో ఏదైనా బ్యాడ్ జీన్ ఉంటే దాన్ని ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ కాకుండా ఆపచ్చు, దానివల్ల మనకు డిసీజ్ రాకుండా ఉంటుంది. ఇది ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయింది ఇంప్లిమెంట్ జీనోమిక్ మెడిసిన్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద గ్రేటెస్ట్ టెక్నాలజికల్ ఎవల్యూషన్. ఇది కేవలం మైక్రో ఆర్గానిజమ్స్ లో జరుగుద్ది, కానీ మనవాడు హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్ ని దీన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తున్నాడు, ఆల్రెడీ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయ్యాడు. సి దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ పవర్ ఆఫ్ ఎ బయాలజిస్ట్. చిల్డ్రన్ హూ ఆర్ నౌ లిసనింగ్ దిస్ టాక్, నెవర్ అఫ్రేడ్ ఆఫ్ లెర్న్ న్యూ థింగ్స్. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ టు బి అండర్స్టూడ్, నథింగ్ టు బి అఫ్రేడ్. భయపడడానికి ఏమీ లేదు, అర్థం చేసుకోవడంలో మాత్రమే ఉంది. అర్థం చేసుకోండి, మీ బ్రెయిన్ న్యాచురల్ గానే స్మార్ట్. టాపిక్స్ అర్థమైతే ఏమవుతుందంటే మీరు ఫ్యూచర్లో సైంటిఫిక్ కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ చేయడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది, మానవాళికి ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. మీకు కూడా చాలా పెద్దగా డబ్బులు సంపాదించుకోవచ్చు, మీకే హెల్త్ కూడా బాగు చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఫెలో హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్స్ హీరోలు అవ్వచ్చు. మీరు ఇన్ని అడ్వాంటేజ్లు ఉన్నాయి సైంటిస్ట్గా ఉంటే. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇంకొక టెక్నాలజీ చూపిస్తాను చూడండి, బోర్ కొడుతుందా మీకు? ఇంకొక టెక్నాలజీ.
I keep hearing that CRISPR is going to revolutionize medicine, the way we fight disease, cure cancer, and maybe even create new humans. And I agree with that. But I haven't been able to find great videos out there that explain what CRISPR is. They tend to be too complex or too simple. So I thought I'd throw another video into the mix. I proudly present. Like most things in molecular biology, CRISPR was first identified in E. coli. And if we break apart the acronym, it stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. Now that's a mouthful, but it does tell you the two main parts found in CRISPR. First of all, we have the repeats. These are going to be short segments of DNA, so 20 to 40 letters in length, and they're going to be palindromes. Remember, a palindrome is a sequence of letters that read the same left to right, like never, odd, or even. So we're going to have these letters that are palindrome. The reason why is that when you transcribe that DNA, you make RNA that forms these little hairpin turns. So we've got the repeats. Those are all identical, one after another, after another, after another, but they're interspaced. And so what's in the middle, we're going to have what's called spacer DNA. Now, what's interesting about the spacer DNA is that it's not identical. Each segment of spacer DNA is going to be unique. And this puzzled scientists when they identified this back in the 80s and 90s. But in the 2000s, what they found is that spacer DNA, that's the important DNA, matches up perfectly with viral, especially bacteriophage DNA. They also identified a number of genes associated with CRISPR. So these are the CRISPR-associated or Cas genes. Now, those Cas genes will make Cas proteins. The Cas proteins in general are going to be helicases. Those are proteins that unwind DNA, and then nucleases, those that cut the DNA. And so the idea was perhaps this is an immune system for bacteria, a way they could fight their old nemesis, the bacteriophage. And that's exactly what's going on. So if we have a picture of E. coli, this would be the cell membrane, cell wall right here. This would be the genome of the bacteria. I'm highlighting the Cas and the CRISPR system. And so when the bacteriophage injects its DNA, what normally would happen if you don't have an immune system is this DNA would hijack the cell. It could become embedded in the genome, but more importantly, it would make a bunch of these bacteriophages and eventually kill the cell. But since it has this CRISPR system, what it's going to do is it's going to transcribe and translate proteins, so this Cas complex, and it's also going to transcribe that DNA to make what's called CRISPR RNA, and it'll fit right into this protein like this. What is this? It's a way to fight that viral DNA. It essentially breaks it apart. And so before the infection starts, the infection essentially has ended. Now you might say that's interesting, but what happens if it's injecting DNA where we don't have a spacer that matches? Well, the CRISPR-Cas system works there as well. it's going to create a different class of protein, a class 1 Cas protein. And what that'll do is it takes the DNA in, it breaks it apart, but more importantly, it takes that DNA and copies it into the CRISPR system. So what is CRISPR? It is spacer, repeat, but the spacers are essentially history of old infections so we won't be infected again. This is exactly the way your immune system works on a much larger level. You're making antibodies and then you have white blood cells that'll envelop that invader. But what scientists thought is if we could hijack this CRISPR system, we could perhaps use it, because this is a living cell here, to either inactivate genes or maybe even embed new genes. And so the search was on. One that you'll hear most about is the CRISPR-Cas9.
Okay. So what you heard was, this is the future of the, see, in no more time, in 5-6 years, genomic medicine is going to open shops in your city of Rajamahindra, definitely. Okay, it's already open in a lot of places in Hyderabad, especially in hospital like Citizen Hospital. Now we're going to do it. Okay, so biologist, you learn the biology, you can make wonders. Okay, please, for the God's sake, try to learn biology exceptionally, very interest and enthusiasm, and don't think that only software people have jobs and biology don't have a job. Okay, so please. Okay, now
I keep hearing the.
Okay, these are the biofertilizers. Okay, and I want to take it. See, using microorganisms for improvement of the crop yield, and we're trying to use, we call them the biofertilizer. For example, there are 3 classifications are there. One is on the basis of the microorganisms, for example, bacteria or fungi or algae, because these are 3 major microorganisms, right? Virus, you cannot use them. On the basis of the microorganisms, bacterial or some are bacteria can you serve as a biofertilizer? Some are fungi, some are algae. And based upon the function, nitrogen fixation, solubilizers, sideophores producers, organic acid producers, sulfur oxidation, phytohormone production, and PGPR. So these are the one actually you guys should know based upon their function, how they divide into 7 or 8. On the base of ecosystem, okay, and how they're transferred, rhizosphere, where they locate rhizosphere, or endosphere, or phyllosphere, or bulk soil. Otherwise, they're available in a soil, right? So these microorganisms, so if they're close to the roots, they call rhizosphere and endosphere. So based upon the location. So these are the things. So these are the several biofertilizers. Okay, these are the one currently in a place so that they increase the crop yield for that. They are not applied for commercial crops, but like horticulture crops and all, or some medicinal plants. People are still started using for this one, like biofertilizers. That is the future of that again. Now, strategies for youth production. Microbes in household products. I showed bakery products and acetic acid. These are for the household products. For industrial products, fermented beverages like beer, wine, and all. Antibiotics, medicine, chemicals, non-purposes, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. And sewage treatment. This is the most important. Sewage treatment. At some part of the sewage treatment, the most important function for the mankind. We have to do sewage. How much amount of domestic waste you are producing? We are going for toilets, urination, baths, washing utensils, washing clothes, again cleaning our hands. And what this water is going for? We have to equilibrate them with appropriate microorganisms so that they will be fermented and they'll be cleaned. Nature will be cleaned, earth will be cleaned. So please pay extra attention for sewage treatment. You see, after sewage production of the biogas, biogas production is very important. You can use biofuels. There are 2 different biogas are different, biofuels are different. So biogas, you can use it for what you call, kitchen or in industries application of the motors and all. Whereas biomass ethanol, you can directly use it for the what you call, gas stations. Like gas means, don't confuse, gas means gasoline. That's what. People often confuse gas means they think the gas, but it's gasoline. People can use it biomass ethanol for the vehicles and all. So this is very clean energy, green initiative, less carbon dioxide production, also less environmental toxicity. There will be no greenhouse effect. These are some important things how biologists are shaped of the world. Now again, production of biofertilizer. I told all of them. These are very important. Now, single cell proteins. So this is very good important food source, and probiotics also another thing. Microalgae, the protein content is 60 to 70%. Characteristics, their production takes like omega-3 fatty acids, very good. Potentially disadvantage, economically limitation to scale up. Otherwise, it can be useful for the single cell protein. To eat, we can eat this single cell protein source. We can eat microalgae, we can eat yeast and fungi. Not all yeast and fungi good, but these are the mainly important goods we're collecting them. And bacteria, protein kind of characteristics, there are like, what do you call bacteria is helping the single cell protein. Okay, so these are different single cell proteins. If people want to become entrepreneurs, single cell protein source is very good. All you have to do market properly, and people can start buying it and they can get the benefit. When there is low limited resources, single cell protein make a maximum role, impactful role. Now, I want to conclude my talk by saying that a biologist, the multitasker of the planet, is an environmentalist, is a vaccinologist, is producing antibiotics, is called carbon reductionist, is a genome medicine expert, genetically modified food expert. So many things are there, multifacets. Like, this lady. Can you guess who is this lady? Any madam? Anybody? Srinivas sir, who is she? Guess, any guess?
Sir, unable to see your screen.
Everybody, Srinivas sir, you can see my screen?
No, sir, because muted. All the microphones are muted.
Okay, I'll do again, madam. Now, madam.
Yes.
So who is she, madam?
Kali Mata.
Now?
Now, a biologist?
Yeah, some sort of. MC.
Yes. Maybe
Very
some
cool.
of the students, they can
Very
identify, but all of them are.
She's Mary Curie. She got Nobel 2 prizes for discovering radioisotopes, which you are using in medicine every day for diagnosis purpose, for electricity purpose, for fission. And second one is she got Nobel Prize for peace. Okay. Yes. Very important, madam. Okay, now solving real world problems. I want to tell a couple of things. Biologists are working to solve today's real world problems. Preserving our environment. See, anybody in our students can think about how we can degrade plastics, plastic bags, single-use plastic or multi-use plastic. The plastic metal, if you see, one side biologist is trying to save the world. One side is chemistry guy is trying to produce more and more polymers, which are non-degradable biopolymers. What is this? Biologist and chemistry to think in a user-friendly manner, right? Chemistry producing a lot of things. I mean, not all chemistry is drugs and all important, but in case of the biopolymers, is good, but not a synthetic polymer which are not degradable, not good for mankind. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against chemistry people. I'm just telling. Then improving the food supply, wastage of the food. That's what most important. Understand the human genome. If you understand more human genome, you can solve the genome related questions. Okay, that's very important. And again, fighting diseases. More diseases are coming. We have to produce more new antibodies. Or we are trying to find more drug discoveries. So this is what, again, fighting diseases. Okay, so this is, I request everybody, biologists, please gear up. Lot of opportunities. They don't think that you don't have opportunities. Okay, remember one thing. If you are near solar system, if you're trying to search of another planet, if you we cannot travel long, we cannot travel lifetime. Okay, if you the best possible way, if you even go also, you got technology to go to other planets, even you get it, it's too hard to survive there if you go to Mars and all. Then if you go to the other planets like Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, they're too cold. So life habitable means life is only possible in this zone. Okay, please remember this. And this is what I want, like the most important thing. Life is precious. And we have only one planet, Earth. Please protect it. You don't say that, if I can go to Mars. Chandruడి మీదకే మనం వెళ్ళలేకపోయామండి. దగ్గర ఉన్న మన చంద్రుడి మీదకే మనం వెళ్ళలేము. మన చంద్రుడి మీద life is impossible. How can people blindly talk about finding another planet and we go there and live? ఉన్నదాన్ని సరిగా చూసుకోలేక వేరే దానికి చెప్పాడు సామెత తెలుగులో. ఎర్త్నే సరిగా చూసుకోవట్లేదు. హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ ఆర్ థ్రోయింగ్ లిటర్ ఇన్ యువర్ హౌస్ randomly? బయటికి వెళ్తారు, బనానా తింటే ఆడ పడేస్తారు. చెరకు రసం తాగుతారు, గ్లాస్ అక్కడే పడేస్తున్నాం. వీ హ్యావ్ టు డెవలప్ దిస్ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ పుట్టింగ్ ఇన్. రీసెంట్గా నేను రాజమండ్రి వచ్చానండి, ఒక కాలేజీలో లెక్చర్గా చేద్దామని. ఐ వెంట్ టువర్డ్స్ కోట్లింగాల వైపు వెళ్ళి అక్కడ గుడికి సాయంత్రం వెళ్తే సమ్ పార్ట్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్ అండ్ సమ్ పార్ట్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ థ్రోయింగ్ లిటర్. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ అండి? Everywhere it's happening. We have to save the plant, save the planet, save the planet. Then it will take care of us. Mother Earth. See, you have only one mother, right? Same thing way. Is Mother Earth is only one for us. Everybody collectively Mother Earth. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, so with this one I conclude. And thank you, Deepika Madam. Thank you, Anuradha Garu. Thank you helping me, successfully deliver this talk. I'm happy to take any questions now, please. Hello.
Now it's time to interaction session.
Hello. Anyone has any questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. From the Department of Zoology. Sir, how could biotechnology help with regard to food insecurities?
Yes, madam.
Because people are afraid to eat transgenic food, sir.
No, madam. No. Transgenic foods, madam. Tomato already transgenics. చాలా టమాటో వెరైటీస్ ఆల్రెడీ ట్రాన్స్జెనిక్స్ మీరు తినేయి మార్కెట్లో తినే అన్నింటిలోనే అట్లా అనుకుంటే మనం ట్రాన్స్జెనిక్స్ అనేది అవుట్ అయితే ఆల్రెడీ మార్కెట్లోకి వచ్చి బ్రింజాల్ ఉంది కదా మేడం, బ్రింజాల్ మీరు వాడతారు కదా, వంకాయ అంటే తెలుగులో చాలా వచ్చేసింది మేడం. మేడం మనం తినే పార్థినోకార్పీ గ్రేప్స్ కూడా ఎప్పుడు జెనెటికలీ మోడిఫైడ్ మేడం. గ్రేప్స్ లో విత్తనాలు రావట్లేదు కదా మేడం, పార్థినోకార్పీ మోడిఫైడ్ అవి. అట్లానే మనం వాడే కొన్ని పుచ్చకాయలు చాలా మోడిఫైడ్ వచ్చేసింది మేడం. డ్రాగన్ ఫ్రూట్ ఉంది కదా, క్వైట్ లాట్. అదేం కాదు మేడం, అంటే డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ మేడం, ప్రాపర్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్. లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మేడం, స్ట్రాబెర్రీ ఉన్నాయి కదా, స్ట్రాబెర్రీ 1.5 days ఉంటుంది పండిన తర్వాత, అది కూడా కష్టం. బట్ స్ట్రాబెర్రీని ఉన్న దేశంలోనేమో పడేస్తారు, లేని దేశం లేదా. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై ఫుడ్ సెక్యూరిటీ హస్ కమ్. గ్రీడీ అన్ప్లాన్డ్ ఫుడ్ సప్లై మేడం, అంటే పంట పండిన తర్వాత అది ఎంత తక్కువ టైంలో మీరు పంపగలరు. దట్స్ వాట్ మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ మేడం. సి ఐ టోల్డ్ నా మేడం హియర్, ఫుడ్ సెక్యూరిటీ, ఫైట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ద హ్యూమన్ జీనోమ్, ఇంప్రూవింగ్ ద ఫుడ్ సప్లై, ఫుడ్ స్టోరేజ్ ఇస్ ద మెయిన్ థింగ్ మేడం. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు సే.
Thank you, sir.
Hope I answered your.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Really, thank you very much. In spite of having a very busy schedule, it's really a multitask for you to have this plenary session, sir. Sir, my question is, really, the CAR T cells, what you have said in the cancer cell therapy, are they in implementation, sir?
Of course. Kid, come on, kid. నోబెల్ ప్రైజ్ వచ్చిందంటేనే ఆల్రెడీ దాని అప్పుడు FDA అప్రూవల్ వచ్చేసింది అన్న. FDA అంటే తెలుసు కదా, ఫుడ్ అండ్ డ్రగ్ FDA అప్రూవల్ వచ్చింది, స్విట్జర్లాండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ అప్రూవల్ వచ్చింది. ఇట్ ఈస్ ట్రీటెడ్. పేషెంట్స్ ఆర్ ట్రీటింగ్. మీరు కార్ టీ సెల్ థెరపీ కాకపోతే ఒక పేషెంట్ డెవలప్ చేసే టెక్నాలజీ వేరే పేషెంట్స్ కి వాడలేము. ఎవ్రీ పేషెంట్ హ్యాస్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ గా దాని కెమెరా చేయాలి. అది
Okay, sir.
ఓకే.
Thank you.
యా,
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir. What is the difference between chemotherapy and CAR T cell therapy, sir?
కీమోథెరపీలో ఏంటంటే మీరు డ్రగ్స్ ఇస్తారు నాన్న, చాలా పనిచేయని డ్రగ్స్ ఇస్తారు, అవి మన సెల్స్ కూడా చంపేస్తాయి. కీమోథెరపీలో విల్ గివ్ కెమికల్స్ డ్రగ్స్ లైక్ మైక్రోట్యూబుల్ ఫార్మేషన్ కి, మైటాసిస్ అరెస్ట్ కి, సెల్ కి. అట్లా చేసినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే క్యాన్సర్ సెల్స్ చనిపోతాయి, క్యాన్సర్ తో పాటు మన సెల్స్ కూడా చనిపోతాయి. కీమోథెరపీ డ్రగ్ బేస్డ్, CAR T cells is engineered antigen, so the T cell can recognize foreign cells. T cell can making T cell to recognize our cancer is called CAR T cell therapy. Chemotherapy is drugs to kill the cells. బోత్ ప్లేస్ లో సెల్స్ కాకపోతే కిమోథెరపీలో మన సెల్స్ కూడా చనిపోతాయి క్యాన్సర్ సెల్స్ తో పాటు, కార్టీ సెల్స్ సెలెక్టివ్ గా క్యాన్సర్ సెల్స్ చనిపోతాయి అన్నమాట, టార్గెట్ అవుతాయి అట్లా. యా ప్రియాంక, హోప్ యు గాట్ ఇట్ ప్రియాంక. అర్థమైందా ప్రియాంక మీకు? ఓకే, ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్?
Sir, not
Any
question.
questions? If you have questions,
Not
then
question. About chemistry and what you are told about polymers and all. Plastic usage, you have referred. So I feel personally that
not every polymer, madam. Madam,
yes.
let me one more chance for me to say one more sentence. Madam, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక ఇంజనీర్ మేడం, నేను ఒక కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ వర్కర్. మీరు నాకు ప్లాన్ ఇస్తారు, నేను కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ చేస్తాను. కానీ మీ ప్లాన్ గీసేటప్పుడు బాత్రూమ్ ఫిట్టింగ్స్ ఈ మెటీరియల్ వాడాలి, కిచెన్ టైల్ గ్రానైట్ వాడాలి, బాత్రూమ్ పింగాణి వాడాలి, టైల్స్ లేకపోతే వాట్ యు కాల్డ్ మీరు కమర్షియల్ సింథటిక్ టైల్స్ వాడతారా, లేకపోతే వాట్ యు కాల్డ్ చలురాయి అంటే వాట్ యు కాల్డ్ బ్లూ స్టోన్ వాడతారా? ఇట్లా మాట్లాడుకుంటాం కదా మన ఇప్పుడు, రైట్? జనరల్లీ మీరు ఇప్పుడు మీ హస్బెండ్ మీరు కూడా అదే మాట్లాడుకుంటారు జనరల్ గా, ఇన్ని డబ్బులు వస్తాయి, ఈ డబ్బులతో ఇంత కన్స్ట్రక్షన్. అట్లానే బయాలజిస్ట్ సైంటిస్ట్, కెమిస్ట్రీ సైంటిస్ట్ మనిద్దరం కూర్చొని ఈసారి మేడం బయోడిగ్రేడబుల్ అయితే ఎలా, బయోడిగ్రేడబుల్ చేసే పాలిమర్ తయారు చేసుకుంటే డిగ్రేడ్ అవుతాయి మేడం, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్. ఒక ఎంజైమ్ సింథసిస్ చేద్దాం, ఈ ఎంజైమ్ తోటి మనం ప్లాస్టిక్ ని తరిగిద్దాము, ఇది ఎలా ఉండాలి మేడం? అంటే కెమిస్ట్రీ కావాలో కెమిస్ట్ మధ్య బయాలజిస్ట్ మధ్య అంతే కెమిస్ట్రీ కావాలి, రైట్? అండ్ మేడం మీ పర్పస్ నా పర్పస్ సేమే కదా మేడం. వీఆర్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ మానవాళి హ్యూమన్ కైండ్ వెల్ఫేర్, రైట్ మేడం? టైర్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, టైర్స్ అవి ఎసెన్షియల్ టైర్స్, కానీ వాటిని ఆఫ్టర్ యూజింగ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ తర్వాత వాటిని మనం డిగ్రేడబుల్ చేయగలిగితే, బయోడిగ్రేడబుల్ చేయగలిగితే ఎంత బాగుంటుంది చెప్పండి. అది తగలబెడతారు కదా మేడం, గ్యాల్వనైజేషన్ తగలబెడతారు కదా టైర్లు.
I do agree. That's why in English we used to say knowledge and wisdom are two sides of a coin. Scientists have knowledge, but they are not wise enough to use it. I don't say properly. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All the students are very much enlightened. As a micro,
we don't apply for everybody, but only few people. Madam, Oppenheimer world డాట్ గా ఉంది, మనం దాన్ని బాంబులు అటామిక్ బాంబు వాడాం మేడం, రైట్? ఫిజిక్స్ అతను చెప్పాడు డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేయొద్దు, బాంబుని ఎనర్జీగా వాడండి అని, కానీ వీళ్ళు ఏం చేశారు, హీరోషిమా నాగసాకి పని వాడారు. అట్లా మేడం, దట్స్ ఆల్. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ కామెంటింగ్ ఆన్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
మేడం బయాలజిస్ట్ ఆల్సో బయాలజిస్ట్ నవ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ బయో వెపన్స్ వాడుతున్నాడు, యాంథ్రాక్స్ పౌడర్, అది కూడా డేంజరే కదా మేడం. బయాలజిస్ట్ ఆల్సో నీడ్ విజ్డమ్, ఇన్ యువర్ ఓన్ వర్డ్స్.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Really,
thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
I hope I heard. Yes.
Really, your lecture is very informative, sir. My deep gratitude to Professor Anil Kumar, sir, for his lecture regarding factors contributed for increased life expectancy and strategies used for the food production, especially in the dairy and poultry farming management. And he is also emphasizes uses of biofertilizers and bio-sewages uses for the energy production, and how RNA interference and CRISPR-Cas proteins used in the genome medicine. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Thank you, madam.
Now I request. Thank you, sir.
Can I leave, madam, because I have a class from 12 o'clock to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the management of your college and students. I believe that students, minimum, if they would have heard my talk, then I'll be blessed. That's what I
Yes,
would
sir.
like to say. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Now I request G. Divyasri Madam to introduce resource speaker, Dr. Srinivas Garu.
Good morning to everyone. It is my immense pleasure to introduce the great teacher, high passionate in research and teaching, Dr. Nutalpati Srinivas Garu, lecturer in zoology, Government Degree College, Ramchandrapuram. He completed his PhD at Andhra University, titled Zooplankton Production and Distribution in Mangrove Habitat, Godavari Fisheries, Kakinada. He receives Best Teacher Award in the year 2009 for achieving the outstanding result in the zoology subject. He attended 5 training programs, presented 12 seminar papers, and also acted as a judge for the 16th AP State Level Children Congress, Vijayawada, 2008. He published international journals and authored for the International Intermediate Zoology Government Textbook for the first year and second year, both English and Telugu media, published by the Telugu Academy 2014, and also authored for the Intermediate Zoology MSET question bank for first and second year, both English and Telugu media, published by the Telugu Academy 2015, and also author APSHE UG bilingual textbook in zoology. He presented 58 LMS for APCCE APSHE. We are very fortunate to have you, sir, and thank you for accepting our invitation for the today webinar. Thank you so much, sir. So now I request Dr. Srinivas Garu to start his talk.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your nice introduction. And I hope the screen is sharing to all the participants.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So you have a wonderful session in the morning, and Professor Anil Kumar Garu has given an insights regarding the importance of biological sciences in terms of research and in terms of food security and different concepts. My talk is focused basically on the concepts and the important things, that is the basics of the biological sciences, where we can explore the areas for our research as well as our importance of certain components of the branches of biology. So basically, I will focus on 3 important components, that is the different microbes that are dwelling in and around the ecosystem, as well as hosting the hosts like plants and animals, and which are highly useful for the welfare of mankind. So that is one component. The second component is the role of plants. That means plants, we regard the plants as the part of the biological sciences in terms of botany. We term at botany, the study of plants is botany, which is also a part of biological sciences. And how these components of the botany, that means plants, are useful to the mankind. And the third part will be the focusing on the biota that are present on the human being, and how the scientists are being exploring these biota for the welfare of mankind. And if time permits, I'll focus on the different biological systems and biological processes that are existing in our body, which can be tapped for the exploration for the welfare of mankind. So my focus will be basically focusing on these 4 components. One is related to microbes, The second component is related to plants, and the third is related to the biological processes, and the fourth one is the different biota that are different microbes that are existing or that are dwelling on human body, and how we can able to exploit the processes that are existing in those biota for the welfare of mankind. Hope I am clear, and I will focus on those components. The first component is different microbes. Some of the components that are already dealt by Professor Anil Kumar Garu, but for the continuity, I have to focus and I have to continue the same for my talk also. So these are the different microbes that are dwelling in and around the ecosystem or the environment, and they are being exploited for the welfare of mankind. So that means the microbes that are useful for the production of household products, they are there for the welfare of us. First thing. Second one, the microbes in industrial products. There are n number of microbes which are participating or which are involved or which are managed or which are being manipulated for the industrial production. So they are also highly useful, and they are also benefiting the mankind in terms of their processes or their biological activities. Next, microbes in sewage treatment. Professor Anil Kumar sir has also dealt this topic, but I will give a brief explanation in detail in that component. Next, microbes in biogas production. This is also a wonderful aspect and wonderful the aspect of our interest for the welfare of mankind without any resulting any pollutant. So biogas can be produced without any pollution. Nowadays, the main problem is pollution everywhere in terms of byproduct or in terms of any subsidiary product. So biogas can be produced without any harmful effect to the mankind. Next, biocontrol agents. Anil Kumar sir also touched upon this component, biofertilizers and biocontrol agents. So I'll give in detail about these things. So these are different microbes that are dwelling in the ecosystems, a bacteria, the rod-shaped bacteria and spherical-shaped bacteria, and n number of different types of bacteria. I'll not go deep into the structure and the components like that. But the main aim, or I would like to focus on microbes are dwelling in the environment or ecosystem everywhere, including our body surface or our organ systems. They are there, they are existing, and they are with us, and they are at times acting as symbionts, at times acting as parasites, at times causing deleterious effects to the human beings. So they are there. So we will consider the beneficial components of those microbes that are dwelling in the ecosystem in association with the human beings. So that is my topic of interest. So these are also different types of microbes that are there and existing, and the structure, and you might have, the students might have studied in their classes, either in botany or microbiology or zoology, the different components and different structures that are there in any virus or bacteria phase, something like that. So this one is our interest. So lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria. We might have our lunch within an half hour, and the lunch will be a complete lunch with curd. So for the preparation or for the formation of the curd, this lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria is acting as an agent or acting as a biological catalyst, which converts the milk to curd. So from since immemorial times or since ancient times, this lactic acid bacteria is serving the human being or serving the mankind. We all of us know that without curd, most of the people they don't prefer to have their lunch or dinner or whatever. Most of the some of the people they may be fascinated to have only curd rice. So if you consider that compound, that aspect, the role of lactic acid bacteria can be highly appreciated. So it is there and it is serving for the welfare of the mankind, lactic acid bacteria. And the process and the mechanism are natural ones and they are being there in our body mechanism also, our body metabolic activities also. In other words, we can conclude that this the process and the mechanism and metabolic process that is being performed by this lactic acid bacteria is highly useful for human being for maintaining a healthy gut composition. If you consider, for example, if you compare a person who is going to take regularly curd or buttermilk or something like that as food, and the person who is not at all interested in taking the curd and the buttermilk, you can visualize a lot of difference between those two people. So అంటే నేను చెప్పేది మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది అనుకుంటాను. అంటే పెరుగు తినే వాళ్ళని పెరుగు తినని వాళ్ళని కంపేర్ చేసి చూడండి ఒకసారి. ది హెల్దీ నేచర్ వాళ్ళ యొక్క బాడీ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో కానీ వాళ్ళ యొక్క బిహేవియరల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ లో కానీ క్వైట్ డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. బికాస్ ఎవరైతే దోస్ పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ లాక్టిక్ యాసిడ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా హ్యావ్ క్వైట్ డిఫరెంట్ మెటబాలిజం when compared to the people who are fascinated or who are facilitated with lactic acid bacteria. So that difference is existing between the individuals. So in that concept, this lactic acid bacteria is highly useful bacteria and useful microbe that is serving for the welfare of the mankind. I hope slides are moving and you can visualize these slides. Anybody please respond?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Slides move out, madam. Next slide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, another important microbe for the welfare of mankind is yeast, and it is used in the preparation of the bread, and that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And when we mix this one with the dough, the pindi, rottele tayar pindilo kalpi fermentation, if you go for the process of fermentation, the delicious bread will be prepared. So we have to appreciate the connectivity or what we call as the combination of the human being with the another type of microbe. That means the symbiotic association, that is yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, is also existing from good olden days for the welfare of mankind in terms of production of different types of food products. Next, fermentation process. This is also anaerobic respiration, and for the preparation of delicious dosa and idli, the microbial action is there. Similarly, we have certain food substances which are also known as puffed food substances, which mostly consists of carbon dioxide. That is also due to a process that is being performed by these microbes by the process of releasing this carbon dioxide. That is also due to the microbial activity, and we have to appreciate that the microbial activity in association for the welfare of mankind or for the welfare of human being. Next, the other one is toddy. the fermented fish, fermented bamboo shoot, and fermented soya bean. All these are due to the microbial activities, and all these microbes are there, and they are existing, and with the biological processes or metabolic activities, they are giving these products which are highly useful for the mankind, and also at times they are becoming the livelihood of certain sects of people in the rural areas. For example, if you consider toddy, it is a livelihood for most of the rural area people who totally depend on the earnings by the selling of this particular toddy. So those processes are also being monitored, are also being under the metabolic activity of different types of microbes, which are helping for the mankind. Next, I have mentioned at the first instance of my talk also how the microbes are involved in the industrial products development. Say, for example, if you consider the production of alcohol and breweries, the fermentation process is more important, for which there are large tanks, also known as fermenters, where the microbes are kept for the fermentation of the substrate that results in the fermented product in the form of any type of brewery, something like alcohol or wine, whatever it may be. So that is there, and it is also an established process, and the microbes are involved, and the microbes are in that particular concept. They are helping the mankind for the production of certain industrial products in large quantities. The yeast, all these are fermented products which are used at the industrial level. Say, for example, the wine, beer, whiskey, rum, gin, whatever it may be, whatever the industrial product, including the breweries and something like that, alcohol, all those are produced by the process of fermentation with the help of different types of different species of microbes, which are highly useful at the industrial level. Next, another important concept or another important point which we have to focus or which have to be remembered is the production of antibiotics with the help of the microbes that are existing within the ecosystem along with the human beings. So the antibiotics are produced by using a technology known as hybridoma technology, and there are different types of technologies, and the most widely used technology is hybridoma technology, and nowadays the other techniques are also being used, and they are useful for the treating different types of diseases as well as preventive, used as the preventive medicine for certain types of diseases also. They are also being produced industrially with the help of microbial activities and metabolism of the microbes also. And the penicillium, all the students might have heard about the penicillium and penicillin, and the Alexander Fleming is the scientist who invented this one. And this is from the Penicillium notatum, which is a protector of the mankind since the years. From the Second World War onwards, this was existing there, and still it is also continuing. So there we can appreciate the association of the microbes with the human being for the welfare of the mankind. And this one also has been dealt by Professor Anil Kumar Garu. And these are the different microbes Aspergillus niger, which produces citric acid, and Acetobacter aceti produces acetic acid commercially, and Clostridium produces butyric acid, Lactobacillus produces lactic acid. These are being used industrially for the production of different types of enzymes and bioactive molecules And there also we can appreciate or we can visualize the interaction of certain microbes for the welfare of mankind. So mostly the microbes are there, and we are exploring the microbes for the welfare of mankind by terms of manipulating either their products or manipulating either their metabolic activities or either by manipulating their metabolic pathways. In that way, these microbes are useful for the welfare of mankind. So these are the industrial products, means the alcohol, enzymes, and different types of enzymes are there. We all know that the foods that is being given to the children and the aged people, and particularly the patients which are having specific types of diseases, are mixed with the specific enzymes for the palatability as well as the digestibility. So the industrially different types of enzymes are being produced by using or by tapping or by manipulating the biological processes or metabolic pathways that are existing in the microbes. And the chemicals, enzymes, and bioactive molecules are also being extracted from the different types of microbes, for example, cyclosporin and statins. And these are the different uses of that particular product. That means, for example, if you consider the cyclosporin used as immunosuppressive agent in organ transplantations. So this is being a product from the microbe, and this is being used for the immunosuppressive agent during organ transplant. And this one, that is statin, is produced by monogamous purines, the blood cholesterol lowering agent, which is used as an agent for blood cholesterol lowering in human beings. So in that way, most of the microbes, that means for enhancing or for controlling or for manipulating the systems or biological processes existing in your human body, we mostly depend on the biological processes or metabolic pathways of the microbes, so that can be regulated in turn in human beings. That's why there is a direct correlation or direct relation between the microbial pathways and the pathways that are existing in the human beings. Thereby, we are interacting with these microbes for different aspects in terms of what we call as the treatment or disease control or prevention, or what we call as the preventive medicine. All these things are associated with the microbes for the welfare of mankind. Next, the Professor Anil Kumar sir also has pointed this concept, that is sewage treatment. Basically, the sewage treatment of the urban areas consisting of two important stages. The first one is primary treatment and the second one is secondary treatment. As the secondary treatment is biological treatment, where the role of microbes is clearly seen. And we mostly depend on the microbes for the purpose of secondary treatment. Primary treatment, we can consider that as a preliminary treatment, or it is a physical process only, where the settlement of the different pollutants that are existing in the polluted sewage will be settled, and we basically depend on different types of microbes. Based on the nature of the substrate, the secondary treatment will be proceeded. So this is the primary treatment, that means removal of the substances, physical mode, that is sewage, sieving, something like that. They use sieves for the filtration of the sewage, that is preliminary stage. And this is the point of our interest, that is secondary treatment, is also known as biological treatment, where the sludge is formed, that is also known as active sludge. And that active sludge is mixed with different types of aerobic microbes, where they break down the pollutants or sludge into useful products. So the role of microbes is appreciated at the secondary treatment of the sewage, where a sludge is formed. This sludge is converted into activated sludge. to that activated sludge, different types of microbes are added for the breaking down of the sludge into useful products, so that the no pollutant will be released outside from the sewage treatment plants. In a nutshell, this is the process at the secondary biological treatment level. At the end, the BOD is reduced. BO is the indicator for the pollution. If the BO is reduced, that means the water that is treated is somewhat good for the agriculture purpose. And in the other concept, the biogas will be released. That means the gases, obnoxious gases that are present in the sludge will be released in the form of biogas, where it can be exploited for the purpose of human welfare. So in that way, the secondary treatment of the sewage of the urban areas, the role of microbes is highly appreciated. There we have the importance of the microbial bodies or microbial biota for the welfare of mankind. Next, we have mentioned the production of biogas, and the bacteria that is the microbe that is responsible is Methanombacterium, where it breaks down to the substrate, that means cow dung or whatever dung, the waste products, and the methane is being released, which is a gobar gas, also known as, mainly consisting of mostly or most part of the major portion of the gas that is being released in the biogas is methane, which is useful for cooking. So there, the role of microbes is appreciated in a great manner. Next, biocontrol is the use of biological methods for controlling plant diseases and pests. So from microbes onwards, we have moved on to the pest control. That means we use different types of pesticides and insecticides for protecting our crops. And there is another concept, that is biopesticides and bioinsecticides, which mostly use biological products where they can be applied onto the crops without causing any side effect to the human beings. Say, for example, in this case, it is due to the side effect of this particular pesticide, which is chemical pesticide. It causes the side effects, something like the swelling of the brain or nervous system, with efforts on the nervous system, pollution. To prevent that effect on biological effect of chemical pesticides on human beings and on other animals or on other plants also, we go for biocontrol methods, that is biopesticides. And the microbes as biocontrol, Sara has also dealt with this concept, that is BT, Bacillus thuringiensis, and it is a GM or genetically modified plants are there, where we can insert or we can hybridize that particular plant or particular animal with BT, where the toxin that is being produced by BT acts as the protective toxin, so that the invasion of different types of pests can be prevented there itself. And the another important concept is microbial biocontrol agents. This is Trichoderma viridi, where we can mix this Trichoderma viridi microbe with the seeds, so that the germination of the seeds will be effective to a maximum extent by preventing the attack of different types of other microbes which are harmful to the germination of the seed. And the root nodules, Rhizobium, Aspergillum, these are biofertilizers which are used for the fertility of the crops, for the maximum yield or increasing the yield in crop production, these biofertilizers are used, which are in turn supported or regulated by the biological processes or metabolic processes of different types of microbes. And mycorrhiza, we all know that the association of the algae and fungi, they also help in the process of fertility as well as productivity. And different types of bacteria, cyanobacteria, they are also acting as biofertilizers. So that's about different types of microbes that are dwelling in the environment or ecosystem, or they are existing in the surrounding environments, are helping the mankind in different ways for the welfare of mankind. Is it okay? Next, this picture is aimed at focusing the importance of different types of microbes or biota that are existing in our body. For example, if you consider our skin, the skin consists of different types of microbes, and that is named as skin microbiome. Microbiome is a word which is used to explain or to consider the different types of microbes that are existing in a specific locality. So since the microbes are present in your skin, the different types of microbes or microorganisms that are dwelling on your skin are known as skin microbiome or microbiological environment. So we think that we regularly bath, we regularly use soap, and we regularly take care of our skin by applying different kinds of ointments or whatever it may be. That is not true. Most of the microbes that are dwelling on your skin are protecting your skin. The skin diseases are due to the deactivation or derailment of your microbial biota that are present on your skin. So when your skin is healthy, means the skin biota that are existing on your skin are healthy and they are performing their normal metabolic activities for the welfare of you. So the role of skin microbiota or skin microbiome that are existing in your body is very much important for the healthiness of your skin. So that is existing in our body. The second thing, the oral microbiome. The oral cavity consists of number of microbes, and these microbes are responsible for the proper functioning of your digestive system. We think that we are taking a quality food or the food that is healthy or a food that is properly cooked. That is not true. Whatever the type of food you are ingesting, that are being filtered or screened by the oral microbiota that are presenting in your mouth. They are safeguarding the intake of food by you, but at any point of time. That's why you are there as healthy. Consider the role of oral microbiomes or oral microbiota that are existing in your body, and they are taking care of you. Next one, the urinogenital microbiome or urinogenital microbiota that are existing both in male and females. They are highly susceptible and they are highly useful for the welfare of mankind. The urine that are being released by the human beings is highly toxic. However, there is no infection in the urinary tract due to the presence of the urinogenital microbiota in our urinary genital system. If the microbiota are absent, then you will be affected with different types of diseases, that is urinogenital or urinary tract diseases. That is due to the absence or malfunctioning or derailment of the microbiota that are existing in the urinary tract of the individual. So they consider and they appreciate the association of the urinary microbiota that are existing in our urinary tract of the individuals, human beings. Assume that the microbiota are not there in your urinary tract, then what will happen? The urea is highly concentrated urea. If it is being passed from the urinary tract or micturate, the time of micturation, your tissues may damage. But that is not happening. We are micturating normally and we are living happily because due to the activity and metabolic processes that are being performed by the biota that are existing in our urinary tract or urinogenital system. So we have to appreciate, and there is association, and it is also there right from the beginning or development of the human being also. So we have to appreciate, and we are in association with the microbiota. Similarly, the digestive tract microbiota. I have mentioned earlier the oral microbiota that are existing in the oral cavity of our human beings. Similarly, the microbiota that are existing in the digestive tract, they are also having great importance. Whenever any specific type of disease related to digestive tract, that is due to the malfunctioning or derailment or differential metabolic activity of the microbiota that are existing in your digestive tract. So these are the 4 important areas where human being is being supported or is being facilitated by the microbial activity. That means the microbiota or microbes that are existing in our human body are taking care of human being by their metabolic activities. So there exists an association between the biology and the welfare of mankind. So all these different types of microbes which are existing in the environment or in the ecosystem are considering that human being as an important component of the ecosystem, and they are striving their best for the welfare of the mankind. So far we have discussed about the microbes and different types of micro environments where the role of microbes is there for the welfare of mankind. Next, we will go into the role of plants. That means earlier I have mentioned I have 3 components. The first component is regarding the microbes. The second component is regarding the plants. How the plants are useful to the human beings. We all know that the plants are essential in balancing the nature and the people's lives. We know that the system is a balanced ecosystem when there is a intricate process between biotic and abiotic components. So that type of balance is being generated by the presence of plants in the ecosystem. The plants are absent, the balance will not be there. So to maintain the balance between the ecosystem, balance within the ecosystem, the plants are highly essential. The green plants, those possessing chlorophyll, manufacture their own food and give off oxygen process called photosynthesis. We know that plants only perform photosynthesis, and by the help of photosynthesis, they produce the starch or glucose, whatever it may be, and that is being used by these plants. And the plant's ultimate source of food and metabolic energy for nearly all animals which cannot manufacture their own food. So as animals, we cannot produce or we cannot prepare our own food. We totally depend on plants for our food needs. That's why the plants are taking care, or plants are performing their metabolic activities for the welfare of mankind. In the previous 10 to 15 slides, we have seen the role of our metabolic activities that are being performed by the microbes for the welfare of mankind. In the Right, or in this context, I am mentioning or I am appreciating the role of plants or the metabolic activity of the plants for the welfare of mankind. So photosynthesis is the metabolic activity for the plant, but it is in turn using or in turn giving that particular process or sharing that particular process for the welfare of mankind. So we have to appreciate that one. Next, starch, sugars, the food that plants make and store for their own good, and also fundamental nutrients that humans does. We have mentioned earlier, and the rest of the things we know that wood is coming there. Similarly, cotton. That means the economically important products are also being produced by the plants, and there are certain substances, or certain products, or certain parts of the trees are being used for the welfare of the mankind. So in that context, we will greatly appreciate the role of botany or the plants for the welfare of mankind. Next, the products, that means coal, petroleum, are being the products from the fossilization of the plant and plant substances. Similarly, cellulose, and the synthetic substitutes, fibers and leather, all these are being produced and they're being used for the welfare of mankind, which are in turn produced by the plants. So there are certain medicinal substances and there are certain other components, that minerals and vitamins like that, they are being processed and produced by the plants on different metabolic pathways, and they are being used by the human beings, and those are there for the welfare of the mankind. And the plants, in other terms, we can consider they are also taking care of the soil, so that which is an important component of the ecosystem. So the soil is being taken care of the plants by their different metabolic processes, so that if the soil is healthy, the entire ecosystem is healthy. That means the plant and plant metabolic activities and plant processes are taking care of ecosystem on one side and taking care of human beings on the other side. So we have to appreciate the role of plants in taking care of the two important components. The one is the ecosystem on one side and human being on the other side. And these are some important, Professor Anil Kumar sir also shared this slide. We can have the shade, they can control the erosion, protection from the watershed, noise control, beautification, production of nitrogen to enrich the soil. Plant acts as setting chambers for the particulate pollution. These are some environmental that I have also mentioned, that they are taking care of the environment on one side and taking care of human beings on the other side. So these are the environmental concepts that are being taken care by the plants. Next, we will move on to the next part of my talk, that is how the animals are there for the welfare of mankind. So I'll consider the first phylum of the animal kingdom, that is protozoa, and the protozoal parasites, that is Plasmodium, is being extensively studied by researchers for the development of anti-malarial drugs and vaccines. So in that way, this particular protozoan parasite, that is Plasmodium, is being there for the welfare of mankind. Next, Toxoplasma gondii is being investigated potentially for the immunotherapy of the cancer. Treatment of the cancer, there is immunotherapy, that means where we can use the immunoglobulins for the treatment of the cancer, that means arresting the proliferation. In that process, the Toxoplasma gondii is being used, and that is a protozoa. So it is helping the mankind for the treatment of cancer. And certain protozoan species are used as the models in cancer research or health research, whatever. In that context, most of the protozoans, though they are minute and they are microscopic, They are taking care of the welfare of the human beings or mankind. This is another point of interest in this talk. The protozoa play an important role in environmental food web dynamics. So the protozoans are the minute organisms we have mentioned and all, as we all know, and they play an important role in web dynamics. They graze on bacteria, regulating bacterial population. In the previous slides, I have mentioned the role of bacteria and the role of microbes, different types of microbes. If they proliferate, to an enormous number, that will be very harmful to us. To maintain a check on the number of microbes that are there, or number of bacteria that are there in the ecosystem, these protozoans as checkpoints. That means the protozoans on one side, they are dwelling in the ecosystem as microbes, and on the other side, they are regulating or they are controlling the harmful bacteria or harmful microbes that are in the ecosystem to arrest or to check their number and to check their number to a minimum extent so that they cannot harm to the ecosystem. If the number is increased, the ecosystem balance will be disrupted. To prevent that disruption, these protozoans act as checkpoints, and they regularly check the role of bacteria and levels of bacteria to maintain a normal dynamics in the food webs of the ecosystem. So that's there we have to appreciate the role of protozoans. We think that the protozoa has no role to play in the ecosystem, or no role to play in the food web or food chain, whatever it may, because they are minute. But their role is very important, very crucial. And if they are not there, if they are removed from the ecosystem, the food dynamics will be totally disrupted, and we cannot assume a dynamic. We cannot assume a healthy dynamic healthy food dynamics in that system without protozoans. Okay. Next, this is of another importance or another most important thing, that is, so this is the journal most important and most popular journal, that is Science Journal, and these diagrams are from that particular journal only, and I hope it is visible. These are the skyscrapers. Nowadays, most of the cities, they are constructing this type of skyscrapers, nearly 50 to 60 floors, something like that. This technology is being adopted from this particular sponge, that is Euplectella, glass rope sponge, which dwells deep in seas. And the scientists have experimented on this particular sponge, and they have astonished the engineering technology that is existing in this arrangement of the fibers. The collagen, you might have known the skeleton of sponges. It is made up of spicules, silica, and spicules made up of silica, spongin fiber. So these fibers are intricated in a way that they are forming a lattice, and lattice has a great tensile strength. So number of lattice are formed for the formation of this structure of that particular Euplectella, where they are dwelling at the deepest parts of the sea, so that they can able to withstand to the pressure that is exerted by the seawater. The similar technology is being adopted for the construction of skyscrapers based on the intricate mechanism of arrangement of fibers that are there in the Euplectella. Means, in another way, if you consider the role of these sponges, they are giving a path-finding ways for the engineers for the construction technology. In construction of different types of lattices, which are highly strengthy for construction of the skyscrapers, having a number of floors within a short area or a small area. That much strength is required, and that strength or particular arrangement of fibers or arrangement of these skeletal structures is being adapted from this particular tiny animals, that is porifera, sponge, euplectella. So we have to appreciate the role of these sponges for the welfare of mankind in terms of adopting their technology of arrangement of fibers for the construction of buildings. Next, that may each and every phylum. I'll stop here. I consider the only two examples. Number one is protozoa and porifera. If you consider and if you explore each and every phylum, right from protozoa to chordata, each phylum has a unique character, and that particular character is being adapted for the welfare of mankind. No other phylum is there, and no other phylum is, that means we cannot leave any other phylum that is not beneficial to the human being. Each and every phylum is useful in terms of their metabolic activities, their structure, their function, their products, something like that. They are useful to the mankind in one way or in other way. So that means every organism has its unique identity. That particular identity is useful to the ecosystem on one side. In turn, they are useful for the mankind, in other words, directly or indirectly. Next, we will go into the another aspect of that, the last aspect of my talk, that is welfare of mankind. And the mankind is being there at the since immemorial time. Though if you consider the life has originated on the earth 4,500 billion years ago, from there onwards, different biological processes are there. There are existing processes. That means if you consider a living being or an organism or any animal, it consisting of different systems, right from digestive system, respiratory system, blood vascular system, reproductive system, something like that. In some of the animals, they are lacking and they are modified, something like that. But the processes and the mechanisms that are existing in that particular system are being exploited, are being manipulated for the welfare of mankind. If the system is not existing, then the welfare of mankind is a question. The process and the mechanism is being tapped for the welfare of mankind. If that particular system is not there, then the welfare of mankind is in doldrums, or it may be a question for the scientists also. For example, if you consider the digestive system, we know that it is a simple process, intake of food and elimination of the waste. But there are number of points where the process has been tapped and process has been manipulated for the welfare of mankind. For example, if you consider the astronauts, if you consider the people living in the areas where there is no water or where there is no sunlight, or where there is no specific type of food, those people also are living. That means the process is being exploited, and this process is tailor-made to suit that particular person living in that particular harsh environment. For example, if you consider we are living in an area where the water, plenty of food substances, and plenty of everything is there for us. So we can eat normal. If you consider an astronaut, he is living in the space where you cannot find water, we cannot find oxygen, but he is living. How he is living? We have tapped and we have tailor-made or we have manipulated the system so that he can able to live happily in particular environment. If you consider the life at Antarctic, if you consider the life at deep oceans, if you consider the life at the desert, harsh deserts, there the people also living for various purposes, whether research or whatever it may be. Because
వాటర్ గురించి ఇది గొడవని స్టాక్ చేసుకుంటాను మళ్ళీ షాపులకు వెళ్తాయి.
ఎన్ని రోజులకి
అది సేల్ బాగుంటే టక్కి వెళ్తే లేకపోతే లేట్ అవుతుంది.
Madam, can I continue, madam? Is there any problem?
కంటిన్యూ సార్.
Okay, and some disturbance is there. Can I continue for another 10 minutes, madam?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్.
Okay. So we are discussing about this particular digestive system, and this system is being observed, processed, and manipulated by the scientists for the welfare of mankind. Similarly, consider the another system, that is the respiratory system. We know that the respiration is nothing but the process of exchange of gases between the respiratory surface and the environment. But this system is being studied, and the role of different types of microbiota, different types of different associated structures are with this respiratory system. And the scientists have manipulated and tapped, and they have tuned a system so that it can perform its function normally under harsh environments also. That means the role of these systems, understanding of these particular systems, that is digestive system, whether the digestive system, respiratory system, or blood vascular system, nervous system, whatever it may be. By studying these systems, we are in a way, or we are manipulating these systems for the welfare of mankind in harsh environment. If it is a normal environment, it is okay. For a particular patient with respiratory disease, we have to treat that particular patient. We have to consider the process, or where we have to tap, or where we have to manipulate, or where we have to interfere with that particular respiratory system of that particular patient, so that his longevity can be. So those things came into the picture when we are focusing on these particular types of systems and their processes. So that is about respiratory system. Similarly, the blood vascular system, it is associated with the dialysis and process of dialysis, where by understanding the circulatory system only, the process of dialysis is being developed by the scientists. Similarly, the nervous system, the functionality, that is parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, and these systems are being thoroughly studied by the scientists, and the processes and mechanisms are being exploited for the welfare of mankind. So this one is excretory system and dialysis. Similarly, this one is endocrine system. Nowadays, most of the people, or most of the specialist doctors, are also focusing on the endocrine components of the. That means whenever our normal metabolic activities are being derailed, it is due to the malfunctioning of the endocrine system. So the normal activities as well as normal metabolic activities and normal processes of the endocrine system is quite different in the diseased patient. In that way, they are correlating those things and focusing on the various ways and means for the controlling of that particular disease. So next, the last component is the biological sciences having different branches, and each branch has its role for the welfare of mankind. The first branch is biochemistry, and which focuses on the biological processes in terms of enzymology and focusing on the different types of metabolic pathways that are existing. And if we focus on these things, that means the different enzymes and different metabolic pathways, the welfare of the mankind is being taken care of this particular branch of biology, that is biochemistry. Next, molecular biology. At molecular level, we can consider, or we can exploit, or we can manipulate, or we can regulate different types of unwanted diseases or unwanted activities, metabolic pathways. For regulation of these unwanted metabolic activities, the manipulation of molecular biology is very much important for the welfare of mankind. Similarly, the evolution. Most of the biologists, as most of the scientists or most of the students, feel that the evolution is nothing like a history, where we can study the development and the process and the origin, something like that. The trend has changed. The evolution has been the interest of most of the scientists, because nowadays scientists feel that evolution is still going on in terms of different biological processes that are existing in the individuals. So individual is one and the same, but the processes are being changed due to the environmental effect or due to the internal alterations of the pathways. That means internal alterations that are existing in terms of enzymes or in terms of biological processes, whatever it may be. So this branch of biology, evolution, is also the point of interest or should be focused. And the theme and the important components of the evolution and the process of evolution have to be exploited or explored for the welfare of mankind. So that is also another branch of biology which is striving best for the welfare of mankind. Unless we know the evolutionary history of the individual, we cannot assess and we cannot predict the quality and the longevity of that particular individual. Next, another branch is biotechnology. We all know that the importance of biotechnology, that is production of vaccines and rDNA technology, whatever it may be. Nowadays, everything is related with the biotechnology, and it is helping the human being by its different types of applications, either in medicine, whatever it may be. In most of the human being related activities and the activities related to the welfare of the mankind are in association with biotechnology only. Next, biophysics. This is also a branch of biology which is to be focused, biophysics. Relating the biological processes with the physical activities. That means how these things, that means this branch is focusing on the nature of the substrate, nature of the product, how one specific substrate is being produced from a process, and that particular substrate is being converted to a product where the product nature and the substrate nature is quite different. And what is the mechanism? All those being, that means this biophysics, the branch of the biology, that is biophysics, is mostly focusing on the nature of the substances that are existing in the biological systems, and they are being exploited for the welfare of the mankind. Next, virology. This is also an emerging branch of biology, which is to be studied or in depth, or which is to be studied or explored to a maximum extent for the welfare of mankind. And this slide is being also shared by Professor Anil Kumar sir. And there are n number of things in right from microbes to the processes, and we have given the different types of structures and different types of plants and different types of systems and different mechanisms. All these are there for the welfare of mankind. It is an integrated part or integrated system. The biological science is an integrated system which is taking care of for the welfare of mankind. Not as a single entity, in association with the different branches and different other sciences also, it is integrated for the welfare of mankind. I hope I am clear, and thanks for all the participants for their patient listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I extended my gratitude to Dr. Srinivas sir for his continuous support and valuable time, sir. And sir lecture focused on how microbes plays important role in the welfare of mankind, and preparation of different household products, fermented products, and industrial products. And also he is emphasized importance of sewage treatment and role of microbes in the sewage treatment, harmful effects of the chemical pesticides, and also uses of fertilizers, and biological processes and branches of the biology for the welfare of mankind. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to end the session with the vote of thanks. I would like to thank Sri Pola Bhaskar Garu, Commissioner of Collegiate Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for his support to organize this kind of national webinars and seminars. I extended my thanks to our beloved Principal Madam, Dr. P. Raghav Kumari Garu, for her guidance and continuous cooperation. Thank you, Madam, for giving us this opportunity to conducting national webinar. I extended deep gratitude to Professor Anil Kumar Pasupuleti sir for delivering lecture regarding factors contributed for increased life expectancy and the importance of CAR T-cell therapy in the cancer treatment and CRISPR-Cas proteins importance. And now I thank to Dr. Srinivas Garu for the informative session regarding the importance of the microbes for the welfare of the mankind. Thank you so much, sir. Finally, I extended my warm thanks to G. Divyasri Madam and Dr. P.S. CHP Deepika Rani Madam and Organizing Secretary M. Kasma Madam for their commitment and teamwork. I would like to thank IPSC Coordinator Dr. B. Anuradha Suryakumari Madam for her continuous support. Finally, I thank to technical support P. Bhuvana Madam, Lecturer in Computer Science, and P. Subramaniam Garu. I hope this national webinar enlighten the students, staff, and research scholars. Thank you each and everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. I'm leaving, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.